Hello and welcome to Dateline Lagos on Channels Television. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Coming up on the program, Lagos holds LASIMRA 3rd Annual Conference, State Government marks 2022 World Habitat Day, Lagos set for upcoming National Women Conference, and OEQA holds validation exercise for education sector. The program kicks off with an assurance from the Lagos State Government towards improving the provision of adequate infrastructure that will fast-track the Smart City project to optimize the limitless opportunity of a fully digitized economy. The Deputy Governor of Lagos, Quadri Hamzat, made this comment at the Lagos State Infrastructure Maintenance and Regulatory Agency Conference. Take a look.
It's the 3rd Annual Stakeholders Conference of Lagos State Infrastructure Maintenance and Regulatory Agency at the Hotel and Suites, Victoria Island, Lagos. The Deputy Governor of Lagos, Quadri Hamzat, and other stakeholders are here to brainstorm on how to transform Lagos into a smart city.
Key initiatives around the utility infrastructure.
The General Manager of LASIMRA set the tone of the event, highlighting the state government's commitment towards driving economic growth through the adoption of technology and data analysis.
This year's conference theme is transforming Lagos State into a smart city hub in Africa, the government infrastructure approach, which describes the efforts and steps that the Lagos State government has taken to position the state as a smart city, key initiatives around the utility infrastructure space, and areas that can leverage or be leveraged by stakeholders to enhance the execution of the smart city initiatives. In its quest to drive economic growth, improve the quality of life, and keep Lagos State environmentally sustainable through the adoption of technology and data analytics, the Babajide Sanwo-Olu-led government is playing the role of coordinator and funder by bringing different interests and stakeholders together, providing funding for digital infrastructure and demonstrator projects, as well as a regulator through our agency, Lagos State Infrastructure Maintenance and Regulatory Agency, LASIMRA, by ensuring that common standards and regulations are in place.
The Commissioner for Nigerian Communications Commission, who is also in attendance, urges government at various levels to increase internet capacity in order to meet the Nigerian national broadband target by 2025.
Lagos State is clearly the hub of telecoms and technology activities in Nigeria. It hosts the headquarters of our major telecom licensees and receives the attendant benefits. For instance, Lagos State received over 38% of permit fees and 71% of taxes paid to states by telecom operators in the year 2019. Lagos State also occupied a unique position at the landing point of the 6 international submarine internet cables currently serving Nigeria. Lagos State is therefore geographically immune from the challenge faced by other states in the hinterlands vis-à-vis access to broadband capacity. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria empowers state governments to be the authority for the approval of all physical infrastructure projects within their boundaries. Sadly, many states of the Federation have weaponized this power for short-term revenue purposes. This attitude needs to change, and I think Lagos State, as a center of excellence and telecom hub, needs to take the lead.
And the Deputy Governor emphasized that the 6,000 fiber optic cable initiative is part of the Smart City project aimed at improving access to functional, efficient, and affordable internet service in Lagos.
As we all know, one of the key pillars of this administration, our team's agenda, is technology. Now, we cannot achieve technology without effective and efficient broadband and, of course, internet services. You will notice that a few weeks ago, we relaunched our state residents card because now that card now has 28 outlets. There's the transport outlets, so we have the cowrie cards. Those cowrie cards were developed by 2 young Nigerians here in Lagos that allows our students to take our buses. They can take ferry, and when the train, that woman, that engineer, Mrs. when the train lands, they can use it on that rail. It allows us to map the children and say, okay, these ones are students. Therefore, we can give them X% discount. These ones are 60 and we can give them this number. So that's for us important. So it has 28 applets, financial applets, ID applets. What that means is that once you take your biometrics, you don't need internet access when you go anywhere. The card, the applet is already on your card. So when we relaunch that, the essence is to make sure that we can actually manage our citizens. Because like people say, whatever you cannot measure is difficult to manage. Therefore, IT, technology is the bedrock of what we think and do in Lagos. Also in June last year, we took a major initiative towards creating a seamless payment system for our multimodal transport system with the launch of what I call the Cowrie Card. In the same vein, we have also ensured digitization of government processes, services for more improved efficiency, accountability, and transparency. All these are in furtherance of building a Lagos state that is smart, that can be globally competitive given our challenges. The bedrock of a functional smart city, of course, is adequate and functional infrastructure. This is why we started that 6,000-kilometer fiber optic cable aimed at improving access to functional, efficient, and affordable internet services. Now, I think it is heartwarming that a lot of private companies are taking this opportunity to bring good things to Lagos. A good example is the landing of the new Equano cable system that just landed back in Lagos some few months ago. And this will accelerate the ability of Lagosians to have access to faster internet speed at reduced cost, which will translate to greater access. We are committed to improving on the provision of adequate infrastructure to fast-track the Smart City project in order to optimize the limitless opportunity of a fully digitized economy that it provides for us.
The Lagos State government says achieving the smart city dream requires effort from both public and private sector to build a technology-driven economy that will be beneficial to all.
The Lagos State government says its developmental blueprint is focused on maintaining social equilibrium and harmony in the state. This was made known by the Secretary to the State Government, Folashade Jaji, when she represented Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu at the 2022 World Habitat Day event held at Adeyemi Burial Hall in Alausa, Ikeja.
Adeyemi Burial Hall, Alausa, is full to capacity as traditional rulers, professionals in the building industry, students, artisans, and other stakeholders come together for this year's World Habitat Day. The event, organized by the Lagos State Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, has also brought the State Secretary to the government to discuss how to tackle the challenges faced with a state like Lagos, particularly in the area of construction and other environmental issues. The State Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development highlights the need to address the CCC crisis, COVID-19, climate change, and conflict.
This year's theme, mind the gap. Leave no one and no place behind. Allow me to draw your attention to something so that we can all understand the import of today's theme. I do not know how many people from behind, but I know for sure that all of us seated in front here will be able to see. There are two photos. You see the word mind the gap there. What you need to see is look to the left of that acronym there, and then look to the right. You will see on the left a picture that depicts squalor, poverty, and so on and so forth. And then on the right-hand side, what you see is multi-levels, multi-stories of buildings and urban development that is reminiscent of what we call the developed world. So clearly, it speaks to what you can also get now, inequality. there is clearly an inequality that exists in the whole world. And therefore the world Mind the Gap, leave no one and no place behind, seeks to direct global attention to the growing inequalities and vulnerabilities that have been exacerbated by what is referred to as the Triple C crisis. Number one, COVID-19. Number two, climate change. And number three, conflict. This is the Triple C. However, the administration of Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu has been forthcoming in addressing most of these challenges. It is pleasing to note that the governor of Lagos State has been able to approach the sustainable development goals, environmental sustainability, inclusive governance, and social harmony with the same vision and vigor devoted to the implementation of the themes agenda in the state.
It's projected that more than 2/3 of the world population will live in urban areas by 2050. The Lagos State government is already working towards this line by incorporating an urban city plan in its developmental plan.
Communication is a critical aspect of human existence, and according to the information available, by 2050, 70% of world population are going to move to the urban centers. And more than 60% of the habitation they will require is yet to be provided. So, as Lagos State is moving into the future, in providing, designing our environment, the habitats of the future, it gladdens my heart that we are cognizant of bridging the gap. That is why my agency will have been thought important to be at an event like this. And that is why we can have this important gap being bridged. In the inclusive future, as it is now, it's about universal design. It's about creating one design that fits everybody, that accommodates everybody, whatever your disability.
The guest speaker, Daola Oresanya, who is a former managing director of LASIMRA and a serving commissioner in Ogun State, asked the government to reduce inequality in the state, which stands under the Sustainable Development Goal 10.
Now, leaving no one behind is a team to bridge this gap, because we now see that human existence are being threatened by this development. You won't grow. Marocco will not allow Victoria Land to go to sleep. That's why Marocco to go. Because Marocco was left there was growing, and instead of having robbery, instead of having attacks, you will see poverty and you will see high income area. And there's no way you will not have agitation. There is no way you will not have the big C. As I said, we also during the COVID period, high income area will have to be attacked because you will see poverty and income. The difference was there. Poverty, the difference was there. So, leaving no one behind is all about equitable development. There must be human development. Inequality has to reduce. And that is addressing Goal 10. If you look at the SDG Goal 10, it's talking about this inequality. The environmental threat, waste management, that's the area where I belong. Okay? 55% of the waste being generated is what is being managed. That's Lagos. And Lagos is having the highest. Okay? For example, Nigeria with 200 million people, we are having almost 100,000 tons of waste every day in Nigeria. 100,000 tons on daily basis. And the average capacity, national capacity, is less than 50%, about 40% of all the waste Nigeria is being handled. 60% are finding their way in drainages in roads in an unpleasant area. Lagos has the highest capacity, the 55%. And this is something. Majority of this waste is coming from the unplanned area, the gaps, those have been neglected. And that waste will choke us.
And the Secretary to the State Government, Mrs. Folashade Jaji, who is here to represent Governor Sanwo-Olu as she reads his speech.
Consecutive year in this administration, we're taking advantage of the opportunity provided by this annual event to take stock and devise strategies to deal with emerging issues in the built environment in consonance with our aspiration of achieving a 21st century economy in Lagos State. The World Habitat Day celebration theme, Mind the Gap, Leave No One and Place Behind, speaks to the Sustainable Development Goal 11, to make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. This aligns with our efforts in the past 3.5 years to provide adequate social infrastructure and create an enabling environment for all and sundry to thrive in the country's economic capital. This is the vision that we have vigorously pursued with the themes agenda on which we have hinged development of the state across all sectors. For effective implementation of the development goals, we have remodeled the Lagos Global Office into a more pertinent Office of Sustainable Development Goals and Investment, piloting broad-based and inclusive application of the ideals of the SDGs across the state. Closely related are the activities of the Lagos State Office of Disability Affairs, LASODA, Ministry of Wealth Creation and Employment, as well as the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, and the Lagos State Urban Renewal Agency, LASURA, all geared towards closing the social gap and ensuring that no one or place is left behind in our march towards a greater Lagos of world-class cities.
The Lagos State government is calling on stakeholders in the building industry to join hands with government to achieve a sustainable environment, obeying physical planning guidelines and other construction rules.
All is now set for the 2022 National Women Conference taking place in Lagos. Now, this is according to the wife of the Lagos State Governor, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, who made this known during a press conference ahead of the event.
Committee of Wives of the Lagos State Officials Council converge on Lagos House alongside Ikeja to discuss the activities lined up for the forthcoming 2022 National Women Conference. Wife of the Lagos State Governor, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, who is also the chairman of the Committee of Wives of Lagos State Officials, reels out the schedule for the 22nd conference.
In 2019, when we came on board, our theme was Unlearn, Learn and Relearn, 21st Century Women's Team's Perspective. In 2022, we discussed exploring the possibilities in a new world. In 2021, our theme was Awake, while this year our theme is Spring Forth, Stand Out. Haven extensively deals with issues around awakening last year. What naturally flows an awakening is to emerge into something more beautiful and into something better. You emerge into a better version of yourself and keep pushing forward to make a positive difference. This is the reasoning behind this year's theme. Aside from the main theme, our team of seasoned facilitators and panelists will extensively discuss the following topics at the conference. We have made adequate preparation to ensure that we have more plenary sessions this year to extensively deliberate on the highlighted topics and associated issues, while on day 3 of the conference, there will be a recap and communique to state the position of Council on the conference and development in the nation, particularly as regarding women and children. By the grace of God, the mother of the nation and Nigeria's First Lady, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, will serve as the mother of the day and will declare the conference open, while His Excellency, Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, is a special guest of honor at the opening ceremony. And at the gala night, we'll be having the Governor Abdullahi Ganduje of Kano State, while our special guest of honor at the closing ceremony will be Professor Babagana Zulum, the Governor of Borno State.
Away from the pre-conference, Council women took to the streets, creating awareness about the conference, saying it's time for women to spring forth and stand out. The walk commenced at CMS Bookshop all the way to Odunlami Street, Campbell Street, Mobolaji Bank Anthony Road, Catholic Mission Street, Ganyu Smith Road, Broad Street, and terminated at Lagos House Marina, where the wife of the governor encouraged women to stand out and be exceptional in all their endeavors.
As you all know, Council is the Committee of Wives of Lagos State Officials and is celebrating its 22nd edition. We've been doing this for 22 years, and it had been revived by the distinguished Senator Oluremi Tinubu in the year 1999, but founded by Mrs. Obafumilayo Mobolaji Johnson, the wife of the former and first military governor of Lagos State. So we're creating this awareness so that people can come to the conference to learn, unlearn, and relearn new things that are happening. Last year we had Awake in 2021, and this is a continuation of 2021's conference. This time it's called Spring Forth, Stand Out. We want our women to spring forth, wake up from their slumber, and now stand out. Stand out in anywhere you find yourself.
The expected guests for the 2022 National Women are wife of the President Aisha Buhari, Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, Governor Abdullahi Ganduje of Kano State, among other dignitaries.
Our last stop on the show is the education sector. This time, the Office of Education Quality Assurance, OEQA, embarked on monitoring of compliance status in some private schools in the state following the registration and validation exercise which commenced in July of this year.
Baptist Academy Obanikoro is the first school visited by officials of the State Office of Education Quality Assurance to carry out validation exercise for private schools. The Director General of the Office of State Education Quality Assurance leads the team for the exercise. She meets with the school principal of Baptist Academy and explains the process.
We're here today because we started the exercise in July, and we officially, ended it the 30th of September, and we drew up a list of some schools that are still yet to validate, the information. We noticed that this school is still yet to validate. So,
because a group of people came, they brought forms for us to fill, which we did.
Okay, so
we did, but after then, we've not actually received anything. A group came even from federal level, we have from states.
Yes,
they brought here, they took to us in our sister school. I filled the form.
We noticed that this school is yet to embark, and we wanted to sensitize and assist you in being able to validate your school, and remember that it's actually per site. So even though you have, I believe, a boys' school and a girls' school, each one will be done separately.
I think the validation exercise is a good one for all schools that have been approved in Lagos State. Apart from the fact that it's going to bring all of us together, we give the ministry the opportunity to have first-hand information about the schools under their jurisdictions and administration. I think all schools need to do this so that we can be on the same page.
The next stop is Baptist Girls Academy, and the same exercise is carried out.
I want to say it's a welcome development. We are happy that the Lagos State government remember their schools, and that visit will go down in our history. We appreciate it, and we want such visits to continue so that we can have quality education in Lagos State.
For the Director General Office of Education Quality Assurance, the exercise has helped the state government to keep adequate record of schools in Lagos and ensure quality standard of teaching and learning.
Mr. Governor has really tasked the agency, the Office of Education Quality Assurance, within the Ministry of Education to ensure that there's quality all around when it comes to our schools. And in recent past, we've seen that there is a correlation between investigative issues and compliance of schools. As a result of that, we thought it was really important not just to have data, updated contact information data on our schools, but to have a different layer of evaluation at the school level. So we embarked in July, on an automation project where we went around schools and we gave them the opportunity to update pertinent information concerning their schools, in both schools that have been approved within the state and schools that are yet to be approved. So this current exercise has started in July, and the initial deadline, I believe, was August. Based on the feedback we got, we decided to then extend it to September 30th as at recent. So as a result of that, the main reason why we're at the schools today, we realized that certain schools have not validated, and we've gone around with our tablets and our smartphones to ensure that they go about that exercise and they're able to do so successfully today.
The exercise was rounded off at Devt Nursery and Primary School, also in Obanikoro.
And that's the program for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Until we come your way again next time, please stay safe. Bye for now.